After 4 years of blood, sweat and tears, the Stalingrad series is finally ending. There's 2 more episodes left to do, episodes 50 and 51, plus maybe another video about Stalingrad, which I'm not sure about yet. But both the main episodes have been scripted. Episode 50 is nearly edited, and that one should be out on Monday the 27th of November, assuming all goes well. I'm not sure yet, but I think episode 51 will be out in the first or second week of December, which means Stalingrad will be over by Christmas. Famous last words. Thus, it will be 4 years and 2 months since the first episode came out, when the series finally finishes. And I cannot wait. I don't regret making it, but I am relieved that it's ending. This then begs the question, what's coming next, and what's happening with the channel going forward? Well, I was going to take a break over Christmas to recharge and then get over the burnout I've suffered since 2019, but 2 things. 1, thanks to objectivism, I've just got over my burnout last week. So I don't need to take a break now. And this factor probably deserves a video on its own, so I won't go into the details here. And secondly, I can't actually take a break. Once episode 51 of Stalingrad is done, my editor will have nothing to do. And I'm not paying her to do nothing. Yes, her, and it's not Terry, it's somebody else. So I need to get a new Battlestorm script to her before the end of Stalingrad. Thus, I've been doing 11 and 12 hours of work a day, every day this last couple of weeks, just scripting the next Battlestorm video. And I'm going to have to focus entirely on this script from now on until it's done and recorded. So apart from Stalingrad, there probably won't be anything else coming out for a while now. And you're all just going to have to bear with me at the moment on this because I have to get this script done. But what is this next Battlestorm? Well, the next Battlestorm is the Battle of Gazala 1942 in the North African Campaign. Now, some of you might ask, why Ghazala? Why not another battle? Why not something more important? Why not a battle on the Axis-Soviet front again? And there's a few reasons for this. The first reason is because I don't have any maps, so I can't do any other battle. I've just commissioned Terry, the graphic designer, link in the description, to create a new map on the Eastern Front for the third Battle of Kharkov, because I'm not doing Kursk before Kharkov, but that will take a month to do, so I have to do a battle which I already have a map for. And since I already had Terry make a new North African campaign map, which was first shown in the Rommel's second offensive video, it made sense to continue with the North African campaign. I'm also fatigued with the Eastern Front, so even if I had a map, I probably wouldn't have done an Eastern Front battle anyway. And a lot of you have said in the past that you're sick to death of the Eastern Front thanks to Stalingrad, and some have even unsubscribed from the channel and won't come back until I do something other than the Eastern Front. So yeah, people are fatigued with the Eastern Front, and I agree, we need to do something else, so it makes sense to do Gazala now, especially because it actually is an important battle. Gazala is Rommel's best battle, there's an asterisk there, but I'll not spoil it. So it's the battle that the Desert Fox is most known for. It's Rommel at his peak, and it's also the British at their worst. Apart from Singapore, this was probably the worst major battle for the British in the war, certainly in the West. Dunkirk or Crete or something else were disasters, but none of them were entirely the fault of the British as such. There were other reasons outside of their control to explain why they failed in those instances. But at Gazala, there's no excuse. They really dropped the ball on this one. Singapore was the worst British failure, but they had no tanks at Singapore. The worst tank battle in British history was the Battle of Gazala. Even more so than Crusader, Gazala showed that the British armoured commanders, as well as most of the British generals, were totally inadequate, even borderline disgraceful. And I know I have a lot of Americans watching this channel, and I know you guys probably don't care too much about the British in North Africa, but I think you guys really need to watch this battle. And I don't want to spoil too much, But anyone here who is a fan or a hater of Montgomery should definitely watch this video on Ghazala. I'm not a fan or hater of Montgomery, he is what he is, but I understand that a lot of people don't like this guy for good reasons. Well, even though he's not in the Battle of Gazala, this battle shows you why Monty was important. I'm not saying you'll become a Monty fanboy, you will still probably hate the guy, but I think you will come away with an appreciation, at the very least, for why the British really needed him at this time. The Battle of Gazala leads to Montgomery, and Montgomery is born out of the ashes of the British tanks at Gazala. And here's something important. I've also decided that Ghazala will be one big video, probably about 2 hours long, rather than a series. Instead of publishing a series of little penny packet Battlestorm videos once a month until completion, I've decided that from now on, you're going to wait a few months and then boom, a huge video is going to hit, in this case Ghazala, and that video will be multiple hours long, depending. So you're getting the same amount of content, but it'll all be in one go rather than in small doses. The reason for this is because every time I do a series, each little episode gets fewer and fewer views as the series goes on, causing the channel to decline overall. Stalingrad killed the channel because the algorithm saw that fewer and fewer people were watching each episode, leading the algorithm to conclude that nobody wanted to watch. Therefore, it reduced the amount of recommendations for all my content. If you guys want to know why my channel gets so few views compared to other channels doing similar content, the primary reason is because Stalingrad is a series of increasingly less watched videos. That's why. And when I took a break from Stalingrad in the first few months of this year, the views dramatically went up. That's not a coincidence. But something to note is that when I consolidate a series of videos into one big one, that video gets tons of views, showing that you guys and the algorithm are preferring the all-in-one videos. Some people have even refused to watch Stalingrad until it is completed, and until I make an all-in-one video for it, which doesn't make any sense to me, but alright. And this happened with Market Garden, Crusader and Kurland, where, with the exception of the first episode of Kurland, the all-in-one videos have done much better than the individual episodes. So this tells me that you guys don't actually want to consume your battles in piecemeal fashion. You want one-off, all-in-one, standalone Battlestorm videos. And if that's what you want, well, that's what you're going to get. Long live the free market. However, I can't do an all-in-one video for Stalingrad because Stalingrad is 35 hours long. YouTube limits their videos to 12 hours, so it's physically impossible for me to make one big 35-hour video for Stalingrad. But I am considering making 3 12-hour videos, although I haven't decided on that yet, because Crusader was a nightmare to consolidate into one 9-hour video, so I may not bother, but if I do, it'll be sometime next year. The point is, though, that people like big videos, and the YouTube algorithm seems to favour them as well, so let's just do all-in-one videos going forward. Now, yes, for practical reasons, there may be times where I have to split a big battle into multiple big chunks, but I want to try and avoid these small penny packet videos if I can. And the only reason I was doing things episodically in the first place was because of the I will publish every Monday schedule that I've stuck to since 2018. When I started doing this schedule, YouTube boomed the channel and allowed me to go full time. So I was fearful that if I stopped publishing weekly, YouTube would send the channel spiraling back down. And I was also concerned, and still am, that I'll lose patrons and subscribe stars if I don't publish every week. But for the most part, that doesn't seem to be the case. And there's several good reasons for me to not publish as often as I do. For years now, and I've not wanted to admit this, I've ignored reality and bent over backwards to keep publishing weekly to the detriment of my health and well-being, and I've been in a constant state of anxiety trying to figure out what the next Monday's video will even be, trying to get everything done in a week to meet this arbitrary schedule, and I've been unable to relax, unable to take days off, unable to sleep sometimes, and I feel guilty for taking breaks, and I've been burnt out since 2019 until last week. I've also been putting pressure on my editor, which is not good for her, and I have been pulled all over the place as a result. When a topic requires more than a week's worth of work, I can't do it, and thus I favour the topics that I can get done in a week, and this results in less in-depth videos, which isn't what my content is about. I'm actually avoiding work on many topics because I know I don't have the time to do enough reading for them, and that's because of the schedule. Also, the reason a lot of the Patreon Q&A's questions have not been answered is because they require more reading than I can do in a week or two, so I don't even start doing the research for them because I have to get the next Monday video done, and so my Patreon questions have just been left unanswered, which is unfair on those patrons still waiting for answers. So I've had to now accept the grim reality that it's physically impossible to publish a high quality video every single week. And I know that's been obvious to everyone, including myself, but I didn't want to accept it because I'm stupidly stubborn, which is both a blessing and a curse. But I have accepted the reality now. Weekly quality videos are totally unsustainable. So for all these reasons and more, I am hereby abandoning the I will publish every Monday video schedule, and I'm doing something completely different now. Unless the YouTube algorithm decides to try and wipe me out because of this move, I'm not doing weekly videos anymore. From now on, you will get a video whenever the video is ready to be published. Now, obviously there will be some shorter videos that are quick and easy to make, and so there may be times where I can publish weekly. It depends on the topic or the question. But in general, I'm now going to focus on quality over quantity and just let the content dictate when it comes out. And if that means I have a bunch of easy topics that I can quickly bang out, fair enough. But if that means I need to disappear for a month or 5 in order to do a real deep dive on a certain topic, then that's just what I'm going to have to do. And since I don't just want to drop off the face of the earth to do a topic that you guys might not even be interested in, I think the best thing to do is to start being more open and honest with you guys. So up until now, I've somewhat run this channel secretly. You would have no idea what's coming up next, and sometimes even I didn't know, I'll be honest. Well, I'm going to stop being so secretive about the projects I'm working on so that you know what to expect going forward. Just like with this video, I'm going to start doing check-in videos, I'm not sure what to call them, where I'm just open and honest and tell you what's happening. So, for example, I think I'll finish the script for Ghazala by mid-December. I've got a ton of books for it so far. I've just bought this one, the official South African Histories, for £120. But please give me book recommendations if you have any. I'll leave a link below to the actual spreadsheet I'm using to keep tabs on where I'm up to with the books and what's left to do. And I'll be updating this spreadsheet almost daily until it's done, so be sure to keep checking back on it every few days to see where I'm at. Gazala will be a big video, and factoring in a Christmas break for the editor, I'm guesstimating it will be published sometime in spring. I don't want to rush it though, and I don't want to put too much pressure on my editor, so it'll be done when it's done. All other projects are now on hold, except for Stalingrad, until I've got this Ghazala script done, which I'm aiming to do by mid-December. So I will come back to you all in mid-December with another check-in video to talk about what the next projects are going to be, but feel free to give me your suggestions for future projects below. I do feel bad for the people waiting for more political content or whatever, but there's nothing I can do at the moment. I've got to prioritise Ghazala and Stalingrad for these next few weeks. One thing I will ask though is if anyone knows a book or a video that the objectivists have published on the theory of history and how they approach history as a craft, let me know, because I really could do with an objectivist theory of history. But anyway, I hope this is all good for you guys, and if you can think of a name for these check-in videos, that'll be awesome. But for now, I'm going to ask for your patience and understanding while I disappear and get the Ghazala script done. So thanks for watching, bye for now.